Right. Okay, so let's get started. We don't have time. Welcome. I hope you all had a good week. Um, I want us to enjoy the lesson. I've got some things that I want to do with you guys, and I think it's going to be nice. Let's see how it goes. All right, so the first thing that I just want to remind, I want to remind all of you. You know, there are two things that basically are the secrets that I try to use every time, okay? The two things that I are the secrets to that I think are the secrets to mastering anything. Okay, this is the method I use. When you are doing something, there are two things that you should do, and you'll be very, very good. Number one, just do these two things. Okay, just do these two things. First of all, is have the picture of the subject. So whatever subject you're doing, this is for maths. I need you to just do two things and your maths is good. I promise. One is have the picture of the whole of your maths in your head, so that whatever question comes, you know what it's asking about. So you should see the tricks that Cambridge will be trying to pull on you. Okay, you should see the tricks that Cambridge thinks I don't know this. They are playing. Okay, you would have seen a word which tells you what topic. That's the first thing. Make sure you have the picture of the whole thing. Two is this one, which is master this and I'm the happiest person. Two is know the rules and don't break them. Know the rules and don't break. You know, that's the one thing that I don't know if all of you in here have mastered. Okay, I'm very, very worried. It's, do these people, or has this class, it's easy for you to zone out because you're quite a few, 20 people. It's easy for you to, whilst I'm explaining to others, then you stop. There is a rule, okay? And the rule is you do not break any law. There's a student that I'm helping with maths also, okay? And I'm building him from scratch, okay? Let's just say somebody, let me give you a picture. Let's say I take an old person and I want to teach an old person maths for them to write this year. What I'm going to tell that old man is, I'm going to say, sir, there is one thing that I want you and I to agree on right now. And I want you and I to make a pact that we are not going to break. And what we are going to agree on is every single step and law that we agree on, you are not going to break it, sir, as you are solving. Then he's going to look at me and say, yes, I won't break it. I'll say, you'll get an A star, sir. I don't ever want to see something that you write in a book because you think it's the answer. I don't want to see it. What you write in a book you should tell me why you wrote it. Oh, now because they want us to find turning points, I will make dy dx equal to 0. Then I ask you why? Then you say, because it's the turning point. So I'll be happy because I know that everything you are doing, you have a reason. You're not just trying. You'll be fine. Those two, if you do those two, you are the best. You are the best, I'm telling you right now. Anyway, let's see this. So let me explain, okay? Because there are certain topics in that I have touched. I've touched those topics in this class. And a lot of you will probably hate me doing them because I've touched them. I've touched on them. But I'm still not certain. I'm still not certain that I have. So what I've done right now is I have brought again, let me just write. No, I'm not going to repeat things we did recently. Don't worry. I'm not repeating. We'll continue. We have a lot of mess to do. And I'll be working. I need to work with you guys as well. If you have something that we have done and you're great at it, don't let me do it over and over again. It's your job to also point me to the things that are still hard for you. And we do a lot of past paper questions. So it's strictly past paper questions also. Look at this. Let me write a bit of probability. And I want to say here, probability, then 2, I can say for statistics, I'll just say mean probability. Just know the 4 methods. Or we can even say the 3 methods. Say 3 methods. The 3 methods, the 3 things. Then you come to mean. Here you can say mean, median, mode, range, upper quarter, lower quarter, interquarter range. Then you come here. You're going to say whatever. I'm not going to write statistics. We've talked about it. So here is your maths. Your maths is broken down into 4 sections. This is according to your syllabus. So this is according to your syllabus. If you want to be the best at maths, it's going to take doing questions a lot, like Simon. Simon is doing a lot of questions. Simon, are you in class? Simon is doing a lot of questions. He always calls me deep in the night, sharing, then he sends me the question, and I help him. Simon, are you in class? He's not. Okay, I'll find him. But yes, it's important to always be doing questions, and that's important. But also, let me tell you right now, listen, I don't want to just say it and you don't hear me. Listen, guys, please. Lehakwa. 2 things and you are the best, okay? Then you just practice until you have mastered it. Don't ever have a question that you don't know which topic it is. Do you hear me, Lehakwa? When you get to any question, LGK, slow down, look at that question with your red eyes and say, this is graphs. You look at another one, you say, this is differentiation. You look at another one, you say, this is completing the square. You look at another one, you say, these are inequalities. You look at another one, you say, these are functions. You look at another one, you say, equations. You look at another one, you say, oh, expansion. Okay? So, first thing is you have to know the whole syllabus. And I make sure I give it to you. I'm trying. Listen, you should know your whole syllabus. So I'll give you this, you copy it down, okay? I won't do it now for the sake of time. But you need to know your maths is 4 sections only. If you know, somebody needs to mute the mic. If you know the 4 sections, somebody, wait. Is it, who is it? Khami, check your mic. Okay. So, you need to know this. And you need to tick everything to make sure you're done with every single thing. Don't ignore, say, no, this one I don't want to do. Why don't you want to do it? Why? Okay, so if we look at this, there are things that, of course, I want to make sure my students are good at because it comes. Let me show you this. Last time, I'm going to do 2 things, and I'm going to give you questions. Last time I did mean and these other things, and I'm afraid some of you didn't hear me. I don't know. Or I didn't do enough questions. I don't know, because you didn't do the assignment, which is, it's worrying. I'll try to speak in the simplest terms because I don't want to leave anyone behind. I want 100%. So I'm going to try and quickly do whatever I'm doing, no matter how hard it looks, in the simplest terms. So I'm going to do 2 things, okay? I'm going to do 2 things with you guys real quick. I'll summarize them for you. It's like I want to do it how I would do it if I'm making a video for YouTube or whatever. I'll touch on this. Look at this, LGK. I'll quickly do this concept of probability. Oh my gosh, sorry. I'll quickly touch this prospect of probability and this idea of vectors. I kind of touched on them, but I'm going to do with them and move with you guys fixing. I have mensuration that I'll try to do with you tomorrow because somebody sent me a question. I think it was Simon on mensuration, and I helped him. I want to explain something. So my job is to tell you where it's hard. I don't want to waste my time telling you easy things I'm doing nothing. I want to tell you where it's hard and give you the whole picture. Can you see the topics that I'm choosing? LGK, did you see? Vectors and probability here. Have you seen them? LGK? Okay. So we have to tick all the topics on this list. We have to tick them. We have to. Let me explain now. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do the question. There's going to be a question at the end here that I'm going to do. But first of all, I'm going to do it like this. Before I do the question, I'm going to go to the bottom, like I was doing here, and I'm going to write on a piece of paper. Then I'm giving you a quick overview and things that you are supposed to do, things you are not supposed to do in 10 minutes. Listen closely. Right. Let me go. Remember, there are two things, right? Inzwi, there are two things. Number one, you need to know the whole of maths. You need to have the picture. For you to be good at maths, there are two things. You must, I don't care who you are, you must know the whole of it. You must know it. And then you must know the rules and never ever break them, no matter what. Right. So here, I'm giving you now the rules for probability. You know the picture. It's on that list. So when you get to a question, you must be able to say, oh, this is a probability question. Oh, this is the thing. Let's quickly write what you do. Okay? I'm not going to explain too much on unnecessary things. Listen. When they are finding probability, you are just calculating the chance. We will never say you are finding the chance that something will happen. And there are three ways to do it. So what I want you to do is know the maths part of it. I'm not going to give you definitions for too long, okay? I'm not interested in that. Probability is the chance. Let me just write that one sentence. Then probability is the chance that an event will happen. Probability is the chance that an event will happen, okay? Now, right here, there are three ways of finding probability that you must know. And you're fine. There are three ways of finding probability. Here, what I'm giving you is now rules. There are two things to being a superstar in maths. Number one is you have the whole picture. That is what we have, and that is if you have that, you are just the same as me. There is no difference. You can get the same mark. You need to know the whole picture. So any question you are doing, you need to know the topic as you are doing it. And you think according to the rules of that topic. Okay, I'll look for the clip and send it to you where Elon Musk said he uses that method. It was the method used by this guy called Tesla. He named his cars after that guy. He thinks according to the problem. How do we go to space? How do we do all these great things? How do we have Starlink Wi-Fi? Which we can use even when there's war, even when we're in an aeroplane. Before Starlink, we couldn't use internet in the aeroplane. You would travel from here to England with no internet. But it's not the same anymore. You can actually text your friends. That's a great achievement. Don't think it's small. It's a great one. Because all these airplanes are giving him money. How did he do it? By thinking according to the problem you have. It's called method of first principles. Method of first principle. Everyone in my class, you're doing that. So when you do a question, You look at that question. You must know the topic. You look at it, you tell me, I'm going to be asking you, okay? I don't care what paper it is. I don't care whether it's a 2018 question, 2019. No, everything has a method. Every topic in maths has a method. Probability has a method. And the method is this. There are 3 ways to find. So when you see a question and you see this is probability, you think of the 3 ways that I'm about to tell you, and you choose one. Then you go to the next question, and you do what is needed for that question, and you go to the next one. That's how you do it. So there are 3 ways of finding probability. The first one, method 1. Let's do method 1. It says, this one you use it when you have number of things. Yes. Yes. Okay, to here. This method of finding probability, students, you use it when you have been told the number of things that you have. And it's easy. You just say probability of an event. This is equal to the number of successful trials. They say that. The number of successful trials, I'll tell you what it means, over the total number of trials. Okay? Put this. This is one way of getting probability. And let me explain. I'll give you just a simple. There are only 3 things to know. This method is a way of finding probability. It's method number 1. You use it when you are given a number of things. Example. Okay? The questions will be different. We'll meet them. Don't worry, we'll be fine. Example question. Example question. If the question says, a bag has 7 red sweets, 4 green sweets, and 2 blue sweets. What have you been given here? You've been given the number of things. So if they come and they say, find probability of picking a green sweet randomly. Find the probability that you randomly pick a green sweet. You're not going to let me down. You're not going to let me down here. Because you've been given a number of things. So you just say, this one is probability. There are 3 ways. And here I've been given the number of things. So to find probability, they want probability of what? Of green. So you write probability of green is equal to, how many green sweets do I have? 4. Okay, it's the number of successful trials over the total. So if you want probability of picking a car, it's the number of cars over the total number of objects. Probability of picking a green sweet, I'll say to you, how many green sweets do you have? You say to me 4. Then I'll say, how many do you have total? Total will be 7 plus 4 as well. 4 is also there. Plus 2, which is 4 over 13. So this is the probability of picking a green sweet. It is 4 over 13. How's that? That's easy, right? So this one, we are all good at it. You're not letting me down here. You are not letting me down here. So that you can. Yes. Okay, yes, copy it, copy it. This will be method number. So the moment they give us the number of things, probability is easy. As long as they give us the number of things, probability is easy. Now, sometimes they can try to trick you. They'll give you probability, and then they'll ask you, how many times do you expect to pick this? You use the same equation. I'll train you when we get it. But anytime it has to do with number of things, there is no other formula. I don't want to see your version. I don't want to see it. I told you rule number 1 was you know the whole thing. Then I told you rule number 2 is what? Rule number 2 is you are not allowed to do something which we never wrote down. I don't want to see it. Rules don't get broken. That's a disaster right there. Okay? I'll have all of you listening to me for a long time. Then you go in a question, you do nothing. It's because you are not applying. Please, I gave you this formula. I want to see it. The moment you see a number of things, I want to see this. Let's go to the second method. Let me go to the second. Oh, come on. Now what's going on? Give me 1 second. Wait, give me 1 second. Okay. This is the first method. Let's go to method number 2. Okay? Listen closely to this one. Method number 2. Method number 2 of finding probability. Okay? This one you use FU. Okay, let me tell you in writing. This method number 2 is this. You should know that sum of all probabilities. Sum of all the probabilities be equal to 1. When you have a certain thing you are working with, all the probabilities add to give you 1. Now let me show you where you use this. Okay? Sum of all probabilities is 1. You should remember that. This one you use it if you are ever given a table, right? And this table is like this. There are 2 ways, there are 2 things, eh? Two situations or 3. Let's just say color. Then I say probability. I don't care what story they tell you before this table. I actually don't care. They'll give you a story. Hey, they're spinning a dice or whatever they are doing. I actually don't care. What you must know is, let's say they give it to you, then they tell you, this is red, probability red. Then they say 0.3, then white. Okay, then they say brown. Then they say blue. 0.08, 0.12. If they give you something like this, Then they go in the question somewhere and they say find the probability of white, or they can say white and something or whatever. But if you just see white being mentioned, probability of white has been mentioned, but you can see that we have not been given its probability, but we've been given other probabilities. This is the first situation. I'll show you the second one. This one is easy. These are probabilities you have been given. You have not been given number of times that something is appearing. You have not been given the number of red sweets. They didn't give you the number of red sweets. They didn't give you the number of brown sweets. They gave you probabilities. But there's a probability that's missing. They can even put two probabilities missing. Yeah? They can even say there's another one which is yellow. And then they say this one will be X, this one will be 2X. Then they can say find probability of white. Now, for you to find probability of white, for you to find that probability of white and probability of yellow, what you're going to need to know is you're going to first write, you're going to write to say probability, sum of probabilities. You just write, just add them. You're going to write that all the probabilities should add to give you 1. So you write 0.3 plus x plus 0.12 plus 0.08 plus 2x. Either it's x and 2x if they have given you like that. If they've just left it empty, you put an x in there, it's still fine. And you can say, oh, these should give me 1. Because they are probabilities. Probabilities add to give you 1. Now, it's your job to now find x, which is now subject of the formula. Here you have to know, okay? So you take the x's together. You have an x and you have a 2x. It becomes 3x. Then plus, you now add all these numbers here. You say 0.3 plus 0.12 plus 0.08. That's 0.50. This is going to be equal to 1. Which means 3x is equal to 1 minus 0.50. Because this 0.50 will go to the other side because you're trying to find x. Then you now have x be equal to 1 minus 0. First you say 3x will be equal to 0.50. Because 1 minus 0.50, you also get 0.50. Now x will be equal to 0.50 over 3. You can divide this. What do you get? If you get it as a, what do you get? It's like 1 over 6. You find what it is. Then you can now, so you can now say probability of white is equal to x, which is equal to whatever answer you get. Then you can now, because you now can find them, then you can also now say probability of yellow is equal to 2x, because that's what it is in the table. Which means you now just say 2 times whatever answer you get for x here. Then you now have them. How did you get them? That's the part I want you to master, not the answer. I don't care about the answer. This is our own question. The one you get will be different. But the rule will never change. I can't teach you questions. Questions don't repeat. But rules will always repeat. Rules will never change. So don't you break the rule. Method 1 is when you have number of things, you use the probability will be equal to the number of things for that guy over the total. Here, you use sum of probabilities is 1. What is the other situation that I want you to use method number 2? Is this one. Okay. Which part? Okay. Now I want you to do the other thing. The second part of this same method. Example question again. Example question 2. The other situation where you should say the sum of probabilities is 1. What is it? Here's the other one. If they say on any particular day, the probability that Johnson will be late is whatever answer they give you. They can give you whatever, even as a percentage. Okay? It's 20%. Give me 1 second. Hi, Tada. I added you to the group. Did you see that? There's a link in the group. Did you see it? You can't see any link there. Okay, let me send it again.
All right, yeah, I see it now.
Okay, join.
All right, thank you.
Cheers. Right. Can you see? I've helped him. Okay, let's quickly do this. Let's finish it. Okay, I have a target. It's LGK. Tell me when it's time up. You're the timekeeper. Right. The probability is 20%. Right. And then they'll say, find the probability. Find the probability that he is not late. So we've just done this one as an example, but I want to drill it into you right now. The probability that he is not late. Anytime you are doing probability of not something, they say find the probability that it will not rain. Find the probability that they will not arrive. Find the probability that this will not happen. Probability of not will always, you always need to know that here you only have 2 possible outcomes. Either this person will be late or they will not be late. So anytime you want not of something, it's like you just use that to say probability of being late plus the probability of being not late is equal to 1. If you're dealing with percentages, it will be equal to 100%. 100% is 1 because it's 100 over 100. Percent means over 100. So probability of late plus probability of not late is equal to 100%. It's the same as saying it's equal to 1. If you were given that percentage as a value, let's say they would have said 0.2, you are going to say it is equal to 1. So to get this not, I don't want to see other gibberish ways that I don't know. I want you to stick to these ones we know. So probability of not late is equal to 1 minus In this case, since it's a percentage, it's 100 minus the probability of being late. Do you see the other situation where you use 1 minus? When you're getting not something. I don't want to see your way. That is unknown. So probability of not something, you are fine. You just do this. So you say 100% minus 20%, and you get it as 80%. You have the probability of being not late. You say 100% if it's in percentage. If it's not in percentage, please, excuse me, can you use 1 here? Please. If it's not a percentage, if you are given as a fraction or if you're given as decimals, you use percentage. You use 1, I mean. If you're given a fraction or a decimal, you use 1. So have we mastered this second way of finding probability? Akiana, there are 3 ways that you're going to use to do any question in probability. 1 is if you are given. 1 is this formula. So write this formula down. We'll use it whenever it works. Okay? I'll send the notes to those who are late. This is the first formula. Or we are going to use this one where you say the sum of all probabilities will be equal to 1 or 100% if it's percentages. The sum of all probabilities is 1 or 100% if it's percentages. If it's fractions, sum is 1. Whatever is 1. So not late and late should give you 1. Rain and no rain should give you 1. Now let's do the last one. Method 3. This one is combination of events. This is when we have a combination of events. This method, we use it when we have a combination of events. It's now 2 things happening. It's no longer 1 thing happening. And you'll be given 3 diagrams. We'll see how to work with them as well. But we'll still come back to this. We'll still come back here. Combination of events. What must you know? You must know that the probability, when you say or, whenever you say the word or, you are going to add the probabilities. And you'll be combining it with method 1. I'll show you. When you do the word or, you will add the probabilities. In other words, you must have 2 probabilities that you already know. And you are going to add them because of the word or. So first we must use method 1 or method number 2 to find the probabilities. Method 1 is what? Is when you have number of things. Method 2 is when you have probabilities and you say they add to give you 1. Then you say 1 minus what? This is the second. You find a probability. You will find 1. Hey, listen. You will find 1. Then now you will get to a question which we will now say, hey, find probability that this will happen or this will happen. You will now know that when you say the word or, you will add. And then when you have the word and, you will multiply the probabilities. Right, let me say this. When you have the word and, you will multiply the probabilities, right? And I want to tell you how sometimes they say the word and. Sometimes the word and is hidden in a word called both. The word both is and. Okay? You should change it to and. Find the word that both are blue. What does that mean? If they say, find the probability that both crayons are blue. You see now, you are combining. The whole time when you are combining, the only thing you have to use is the keyword or and the keyword and. And you can combine. Because anytime you use and, multiply, 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 you get your answer. Anytime you use or, add, 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 you get your answer. What about when you get both? Both, if they say, find the probability that both colors are blue, it means blue and blue. So both should be changed to and, which will now be changed to multiplication. Have I been heard clearly? Please don't change. I don't want to see anything else. I don't want to see anything else. LGK, isn't it time up? Till 8:30. Okay, good. Please. Anyway, let me see if I can show you some questions. Let me share my screen. Of course, I'm going to do a lot of questions tomorrow. I'm going to do a lot of questions tomorrow. Let me just share one. I'm trying to quickly share the screen for the question. The question is not even something I care about. The methods, because I know once you have the methods, you can do any question with or without me. Just want to do one. This one. Right, I'm sharing my screen. I'm starting with even a hard one. want to do it real quick. We are not intimidated by questions. Eh? Right, can you all see my screen? We want to quickly solve this one and we see where to go. Let me start the recording whilst it's live. I'm going to post it as a video. Right. Can you all see this question? Students? Okay, so they just give us a cumulative frequency curve. Then they give us this cumulative frequency curve, and what are they saying? They're saying 2 of these packets. How many packets are there? Usually they tell you all the time. Usually questions tell you. So this is a probability, and we know we have 3 methods. So you're going to say, oh, because here the question says, the question is this one. Okay? Question is always this part. Find the probability. So you're going to say, oh, this is a probability question. Yes, it's maths, We're almost done. Right. Listen. Look at this. I said you have 13 packets. This is the total. Okay, so thank you for giving us. Then they say 2 of these packets are chosen at random. Okay. 2 of these packets are chosen at. Don't make it say what it didn't say. Don't make the question say. Stay calm. You know that for probability, you know, once you see probability, you can even put with your pencil. If you are not sure, probability is equal to number of something, okay, of successful trials over the total number of trials. Then that's like one way of saying it, or number of times you get something over the total. Then the other one is the sum of probability is equal to 1. Then the other one is that when I say the word or, I will add. When I meet the word and, I will multiply. But for me to multiply, I will only multiply when I know the 2 probabilities. Listen, I said you will only multiply when you know the 2 probabilities you are dealing with. So let's see here. Find the probability that 1 packet, the moment they say 2 packets, it means it's combination. Okay, so this is not anything which is going to scare us. They are just trying to tell us that we are going to use something from combination at some stage. Because we are picking 2. So of course we will have to combine. We are not picking once. Find the probability that 1 packet has a mass more than 50 grams and the other has a mass less than 50. The word is 1 packet has a mass more than 50 and the other one has a mass less than. So the key word for here is not or, it's and. We're going to multiply. What are we going to multiply? So you're going to say, you're going to write here. Probability of, they said 1 packet has a mass more than 50. So probability of mass greater than 50. Okay, grams. And mass greater than 50. And the other has a mass less than 50. And mass less than 50. Can even just say less. Now, what does this become? This becomes probability of mass greater than 50. Okay, How do you know mass is greater than 50? Say, the crocodile is looking at it. They said mass more than, which means greater than 50. And then we have this word and, which means you multiply now. First you write it with the and. Then you now remove it and you put a multiplication sign. You'll be now separating like this. But when you're writing the word and, you don't separate. You now say probability of mass less than 50. Do it like I'm doing. Don't run. Just do what you're seeing. I've replaced and with the multiplication sign. I've not done anything. Come on. Surely. Now we go to see how many. Because it's about how many. This is not about probabilities adding to give you one here. For me to find probability of mass less than 50, I'm not going to think of a method which I don't have here. Probability of sum equal to 1 only works if I know some other probabilities. But there's no probability given here. I've just been given the masses on a tree diagram. So I've been given the number of things. So now we are going to look for the masses less than 50. Or we start with those that are greater than 50. Masses greater than 50, how many are there? We have 51, we have 52, we have 53, we have 54. All these are greater than 50 because they are on 5. So it's 51, 52, 53, 50. How many? It's about how many? 4. So this is equal to 4 over total 13. We are using method 1. We are not using a gibberish method. We are just applying this. Then now you say, and you multiply. The other packet has a mass less than 50. How many have a mass less than 50? That's where you get the probability. Choose one. I'm forcing you right now. Choose one of the methods there to find this probability of less than 50. Is it going to be this one or is it going to be this one? You say, the only thing I have is number of things. So yes, so you choose method number 1. You say probability of mass less than 50. How many are less than 50? That's what we will now do. How many are less than 50? Then divided by the total. How many do we have less than 50? The rest, all the rest are less than, because we don't have a 50. So obviously all these ones are less than 50. Count them. Yes, it's 5 minutes past. We are stopping. This is the last question. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of them. So it will be 9. Over what's the total? 13. Then now you can do it. You just multiply. When you multiply fractions, the top multiplies the bottom. 9 times 4, 36 over 13 times 13. What is 13 times 13? $169. Then if you can reduce to lowest terms, you can reduce. I don't know if you can. But here is the probability. Huh? Is this hard? Tell me. Is this hard? Class. What do you get? When you reduce 36 over 169, what does the calculator give you? 1 over 13. Okay, let me try. 36. whatever, something like that. Question? Hello? Okay, it's time up. Okay. So, fine. It's time up. Let me stop here. We'll meet tomorrow and do more questions, okay? And polish up.